Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, Facebook. I am Dr. Rashana, and I'm just waiting for a few more people to come into the room. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me just make sure, tag everybody. Hi, Jamila. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me. I hope your day was wonderful. How was your day? Hi, I mean, thanks for joining. Come on in. Sharing is caring. So, or tag someone. So share this video or tag someone for anyone you think might get some benefit from it. Hi, Danielle. Thank you for joining. How was your evening? How was your day? I hope you had a good day. Today is my Friday, so I'm like TGIF, sort of, kind of. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. So for those who don't know, I'm in the Atlanta metropolitan area, and it was a pretty nice day, mild, sunshine. So far, we hadn't gotten any of that hurricane weather. What about you down there in Columbus, Danielle? Did you all get any? All right. So thankfully, and hopefully, those who are in the areas that were affected by the hurricane, I hope that you all are staying safe. Today is your Friday as well? Yes. What? Kendra's going to be at least 6'3". That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining. Again, feel free to share or tag anyone you think might be interested in hearing what I have to say. It's hot, absolutely. So I want to first off, again, thank you for joining me. I want to welcome you to the official first episode for Tea for Thought. Tea for Thought is a show that will provide you with short, relevant, hopefully helpful information about mental health issues. And you've heard what's the tea on such and such? What's the tea on that? It's not really gossip, but it's really just information that you might need or might be helpful. And at the same time, hopefully we can sip on a cup of tea at the same time. I got my tea right here. I enjoy tea because it's kind of refreshing and calming. It makes you kind of stop, slow down in your fast-paced life and just kind of reflect and relax. And you got to stop because the tea usually, especially if you're drinking hot tea, it's going to be hot. And if you don't slow down, you burn your tongue. So I got some tea right here, and I'll let you know what type of tea I'm sipping on toward the end. So again, I am Dr. Rashana, your host for Tea for Thought. I am a double-boarded adult child and adolescent psychiatrist, and I am passionate about helping people improve their mental health wellness while increasing their knowledge and understanding and decreasing stigma. I am passionate in particular about helping moms who are either pregnant or in the postpartum period, or maybe they had a miscarriage, but those who are dealing with depression and anxiety. I do that through platforms such as this, through speaking engagements, direct patient care, and even through writings. I have been working on completing a book that hopefully will be available to you early spring of 2019. So that's who I am. Today, the tea that I would like to bring to you is titled, We Wear the Mask. And I chose that because many of us are walking around wearing a mask. Many of us know someone, or maybe we've worn a mask ourselves. The mask kind of, it's something that masks how we're really feeling underneath. We may smile, we may grin, but many of us are walking around here in a lot of pain, whether it's physical pain, whether it's emotional pain. Maybe we're stressed out because of finances, but many of us are wearing the mask. And so I wanted to take the time to remove my own mask. I am not excluded from that. I have worn the mask as well. And the mask that I have worn, and I am now going to pull off, is my struggle with depression and anxiety during pregnancy and the postpartum period. But before I tell you about my story, and are you okay with me sharing my story? If so, do a thumbs up, yes. Let me know. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with me sharing my story? Just let me know. So I appreciate that. So before I share my story, I wanted to read two verses of a poem that I felt like really spoke to the notion that people are walking around wearing a mask. They're doing their best, but they put this mask on so that they can make it through the day, through their struggles, through their pain. So this poem is called We Wear the Mask by Paul Laurence Dunbar. We wear the mask that grins and lies. It hides our cheeks and shades our eyes. This debt we pay to human guile, with torn and bleeding hearts we smile, and mouth with myriad subtleties. Why should the world be overwise in counting all of our tears and sighs? Nay, let them only see us while we wear the mask. So those are the first two verses of that particular poem. And it speaks to me because, again, I am guilty of wearing the mask. So if it's okay with you, I'd like to share with you my story. So some of you know, some of you don't know. I come from a big family. Both of my parents, educated, middle class. I was a athlete. I, typically did well academically. Went to college. Many people, from the outside, they would think, oh, she got it made. Why is she depressed? What stress does she have? So it kind of starts off when I was pregnant. I have suffered from depression and anxiety with basically all of my pregnancies. I am the mother of 4 beautiful young ladies. My oldest is 12. I have a 9-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 6-month-old. The depression and the anxiety that I experienced was probably the worst with the first and the last pregnancy. All of my pregnancies, except for the very last one, was planned. Starting off, before I got pregnant with my first child, it was not easy. I mean, it didn't happen as quickly as I thought it was going to. Up until that point, I had imagined, as a little girl, many of us think, oh, when I get older, I want to have this knight in shining armor. I'm going to have children. I'm going to have this. I'm going to have that. Well, I didn't get pregnant right away. Number 2, while I was trying, I was in residency, and residency can be very stressful. And I actually see someone who went to residency with me. Hi, Allison. Thank you for joining. And hi, Samantha. So residency was very stressful. So I finally get pregnant. I'm so elated. And now I'm like, now my thoughts, my mind shifts to, oh, when I become a mother, when I have the baby, the delivery is going to go so smoothly. I'm going to be able to breastfeed just like that. I'm going to be Betty Crocker of sorts. I'm going to make homemade, baby food. I had all these big ideas, and as you can probably tell already, it did not turn out that way. For the most part, the pregnancy was fine. Got to delivery. I had a hard time pushing her out. And they're like, if you don't hurry up and push, you're going to go have a C-section. Of course, that was not in my birth plan. That was not in my mind. So thank goodness I did not have to have a C-section, but they did have to use forceps. So I delivered the first child. Immediately I tried to start learning how to breastfeed. How many people have tried to breastfeed? Maybe you did it for, an extended period of time or a short period of time. How many of y'all tried to breastfeed? Just type in the comment section if you tried to breastfeed. Because if you tried to breastfeed, you know that breastfeeding can be challenging. I mean, you had this small, beautiful human being. They have like the jaws of life. I mean, it's so painful. So, of course, I had a difficult time breastfeeding, and I got help from the lactation consultant. Still didn't get it. Less than a week after I was discharged from having the baby, I wasn't feeling well. My mom was visiting, and she looked at me and was concerned. And I ended up going to the hospital. I went to the emergency room. My legs was huge, like the Michelin Man. And they said, hey, you're going to be admitted. You have preeclampsia. And so they admitted me and sent me to the ICU. So here I am, a new mother. I had all these big ideas of what pregnancy was going to be like, what the delivery was going to be like, what the postpartum period was going to be like. I'm in the ICU, separated from my newborn, and I felt absolutely horrible. I was terrified. I was afraid. I was stressed. I started blaming myself. And I think that time in the ICU kind of really interfered with our bonding, our initial bonding period. So I remember eventually they discharged me. They got my blood pressure, somewhat under control. I went home, and I said, okay, I'm going to breastfeed. Well, every time I tried to breastfeed, my blood pressure would just shoot up. And so I was devastated because, again, I had imagined what things were going to be like. And I remember my mother saying, Rashana, what's more important is that you take care of yourself so that you can take care of this baby. It's not the end of the world if you cannot breastfeed this baby. And so I reluctantly submitted and was like, okay, you're right. My mom left, so I'm there alone. My husband had to go back to work, and it's just me and this little human being. By that time, everything that I imagined had gone out the window. I didn't know what was going on. And I remember sometimes sitting there, just kind of staring at her. She would cry, and I would not touch her. I would just sit there and watch. I didn't have any thoughts of wanting to hurt her or hurt myself, but I just was so overwhelmed. I was angry. I was lonely. There were times that I wouldn't do my hair. I wouldn't bathe. I didn't have much contact with other adults. And so eventually I sought help with my primary care doctor, and my primary care doctor prescribed me medication so that I can work through this postpartum period. So that was my first experience with postpartum depression. Fast forward to my fourth pregnancy. As I mentioned earlier, all of my pregnancies were planned except for my last little bundle of joy. Um, I can smile about it now because I can't imagine her not being here anymore, you know. But at the time, I was going through a transitional stage. I was contemplating leaving a job that I'd been at for like 8 years. I had been stressed out for a long time, burnt out for a long time, feeling unappreciated for a long time. And I finally mustered up enough courage to submit my resignation. I needed a change because here I was, a mother of three, getting home at 6, 7 o'clock. Of course, they're young. They have homework. They need to bathe. They need to eat. And I would give so much at work. When I came home, I felt like I did not have much to give to my own child, or my own children. And so I felt very guilty, and I felt like I was doing a bad job as a mother. Felt I was doing a bad job as a wife. I felt like I wasn't giving enough attention to everything. I was not taking care of me. So I finally submitted my resignation. I was excited. I was like, yes, I'm about to do this. Yes. And that all came to a screeching halt. Because my 16th year wedding anniversary, my husband and I did a staycation. And that was the first time getting away from the children, in a while. And my body was just, something wasn't right. So I took a pregnancy test and it was positive. I took another one and it was positive. Why? I don't know why I took another one. I just, maybe my eyes were deceiving me. But I took that second pregnancy test and I just burst out in tears. I had a mixture of different emotions because on one hand, in theory, I feel like children are a blessing. And there are many women who aren't able to have children. And who am I I felt like I was being ungrateful. And then secondly, I also felt overwhelmed with just the thought of having a fourth child because I was already struggling with 3. So I left out the bathroom, I went in and I started crying. I was talking to my husband and he's like this, a deer in the headlights. He didn't know what to do. Bless his heart. I love him. I love him. I love him. He didn't know how to respond. He didn't know, should I comfort you? Should I kiss you? He didn't know what to do. So I called a couple of people and I let them know. And I think I was in shock for the majority of my pregnancy. I can't count how many times I would say something to my sisters or my husband or somebody like, I can't believe that I'm pregnant. Because I have 3 already. I'm over the age of 40. I was not prepared. I had given away all my baby stuff. I just was not prepared. I thought I was entering another stage of my life where I can, do more things. But for the majority of that pregnancy, I'm sure I was experiencing some depression. And later on, I remember talking to my sisters and saying, them telling me, hey, we were kind of worried. Yeah, we would call you and you wouldn't answer the phone. And so I was just in shock for a while. But finally, I kind of came out of it a little bit toward about the 7th month. Because I started to wake up. I'm like, okay, wake up, Rashana. You've had depression during this pregnancy, and you've experienced postpartum depression before. You have to get yourself together. We have to prepare for this postpartum period because you are going to be the mother of 4. So I started to kind of slowly bring myself out of it, started to, just be more present. Thankfully, the delivery was uneventful. I started my medicine again, and after I had her, um, I almost immediately had that maternal connection with her. But I still was struggling with the depression. Um, I was laid off during it. It was just a lot of stressors happening at once. And a couple of weeks after I had her, what was the turning point for me was my 12-year-old came to me and she said, "Mom, why are you mad all the time? When are you gonna go back to being the way you used to be?" And that really hit me because I realized that my depression was kind of taking over. I was being very self-absorbed, because not thinking about the fact that my depression has an impact on all the people that I come in contact, and especially all the people that I love, my immediate family, my husband, my girls. I am modeling to them how to cope. And that in itself can put them at risk of having depression or anxiety later on. So that was like the wake-up call that I needed. And from there, then I started to get refocused. I came across and joined a coaching program that was recommended by my sister. And with the help of just the support of my family, support of the people in my community, I made it through. And so now that's why I have become passionate about helping other families or helping other mothers who have dealt with postpartum depression or depression during pregnancy, and anxiety during pregnancy and postpartum anxiety, because I myself have experienced that. I know how it feels. I know how it can impact you as an individual, and I know how it can impact your loved ones. So I am passionate about again, improving the mental health wellness, increasing knowledge and understanding while decreasing the stigma about mental health issues in general, but specifically for women who dealt with depression and anxiety. And so today I had decided that I'm going to remove my mask, because I feel that by removing my mask, it may give other women, it may empower other people to remove their masks and to deal with what the stresses are. If you're dealing with anxiety, if you're dealing with depression, whatever it may be, it may help inspire other people to do the same. Because I think by opening up the conversation, talking about it, can help in reducing stigma about it. And people will be less afraid to get the help that they need. So thank you for allowing me to share my story, and thank you for being present as I remove my mask today. Can anyone relate to that story? Just let me know. And if you have any questions, just type them in the comment section. I'm going to move on to the tea section. So like I said earlier, this is the tea for thought. This is a time whereas we can talk about the tea, some mental health tea, while sipping on some tea. Did you know that tea is behind water? Tea is the second most popular consumed beverage in the world, behind tea. And I mean behind water. And so again, many cultures, many people drink tea. You're welcome. Many cultures drink tea as a way to socialize, a way to calm. There's a lot of medicinal benefits. And so this is symbolic of us taking the time to slow down and be present and mindful and reflect and take care of ourselves, our mental health wellness. And today I want to, while I I want to introduce you, before I forget, I want to introduce you to that last bundle of joy, my surprise baby, who I'll just absolutely adore now. And this is my baby, Minna. Minna, say hi to everybody. Minna. Uh-oh, lost her toy. Look, baby, look. Say hi. This is Minna. And this is my surprise baby. But she turned out to be a blessing. And so that's one of the reasons why we named her Minna. Because Minna means kind, graceful, and a blessing. And after all of that, she has been a blessing. Yes, she has been a blessing to us. She is 6 months old now, and she has a village of people who take care of her, and it all is working out. It really is. She has supportive sisters, and I have a supportive husband, aunties, uncles, play aunties, play cousins. So that's Minna. There you go. And so, again, sorry, I meant to tell you, the tea that I'm sipping on today, and it's still a little hot, is my peppermint tea. I love, love, love peppermint tea. It can be helpful for tummy aches, but I just love it because it's just calming, it's relaxing. So each week, my plan is to not only, again, give you the tea on mental health, but to give you, talk about the teas that I'm drinking. And I would love to hear about some teas that you love, and maybe we can exchange information. Maybe you can help me and suggest some teas to me. And the teas that I drink, I'll also try to provide some information about what is said, what there's the benefits of it. Again, this is not medical advice. Talk to your doctor, okay? But again, this is just a time for us to sit down, take some time out, relax, relate, release, as we all work toward improving our mental health wellness. So again, thank you. Hi, Dr. Charlotte. Thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate. Please like my Facebook page. My Facebook page is Dr. Raushana, D-R-R-A-U-S-H-A-N-A-H. Like my page, please share my page, share this message. Sharing is caring. If you feel like there's anyone that will benefit from the information, that the message or my story that I shared today, please, please, please don't hesitate to share. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to, you can private message me. You can go to my page and message me. You can leave some questions here in the comment section, and I will go back over and I'll try to answer as many questions as possible, and even probably do some future episodes about questions that have come up. So, hi, Dr. Zarina. Thank you for joining. So again, I am Dr. Raushana. I am a double-boarded adult child and adolescent psychiatrist. I help women who have dealt with, or women who are pregnant or in the postpartum period, or maybe they had a miscarriage. I help women who have dealt with depression and anxiety. I help them through formats such as this. I help them through direct patient care, as well as speaking engagements, and actually I'm writing a book, and I'll keep you posted on when that's coming out. All right. Thank you for joining me. Please like my pages. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter, LinkedIn as well. And join me next week, same time, for Tea for Thought Thursdays. All right. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Peace and love and blessings. Bye-bye.